Hey Awesomes, it's Tuesday. I'm Shane. So this week's topic is about dealing with an unaccepting family member or like a family member that just doesn't get it. And this is really pertinent to my life because since coming out as trans, I've had a lot of mixed reactions. The first reaction I've gotten, I'm just going to go from best to worst reaction. Best reaction is, okay, well, I don't really know how to deal with this, but I'm going to research it, and I'm going to try maybe to start thinking of you as male. So, like, I have a cousin that'll, like, try and kind of think of me as male. Like, I don't expect her to say Shane or he or anything yet, but sometimes she does. Like, she knows that if we're out in public, it's really awkward if I'm passing, and she's like, "Hey, girl," and it's like, okay, well, I mean, that's kind of awkward. So yeah, no one that's like, "Okay, hello, Shane," like, nobody's done like that. The second reaction is like, okay, well, I don't think this is right. I don't know that you're sure about this. I think it's kind of a phase, but I mean, it's been practically a year now, and I think they're starting to see it's not a phase. And so I have, like, my mom and dad, or, like, my mom, cutest thing ever. You know, when I came out as a lesbian, she bought, like, tons of coming out as gay books, and now she's reading all these trans books for me, trying to understand what it is. And she can only read so much at a time because it just makes her sad, because all the statistics about, like, trans people getting hurt and stuff like that. But she's trying really hard. She's at the point where she tries to say, like, a gender neutral, like, well, when she always calls me Rosebud, and now she just calls me Bud, because Bud is kind of masculine. Even though it stems from, like, Rosebud, it's still Bud. So she tries to call me Bud, and instead of saying my daughter, she says my child. So we're at that kind of, like, middle ground. Like, I'm not gonna give, but she's not gonna give, and it's just gonna take some time. And then the last one, that's my brother. My brother is a very we're just kind of complete polar opposites. Like, I'm total, like, thinker. I'm like a feeler. I hate math and science, and he's like a fact person, and he's a computer engineer. Like, he loves math and science. So we're very, like, he thinks very matter-of-factly about things. And his reaction is, you can put whatever hormones you want in your body, you can have as many surgeries as you want, but you're always going to be a girl. And he's told me this many times. He's like, you have XX chromosomes, you're always going to be a girl. It doesn't matter how you mutilate your body. So that, I mean, that sucks. And we don't really talk that much anymore because of it. So I do understand dealing with unaccepting family members. The thing I found, because I can give them as many facts as I want, and all of my family, I can give them as many facts as I want. And they're not going to really think anything about, you know, they're just going to be like, well, but I found the best way to deal with a family member is to tell them how it affects you. To tell them how it directly affects your life and, you know, your happiness, your state of well-being. So, like, when people start to really see that this is not a phase and this is not something that's going to go away, and it's not something that you're proud of, it's something that affects you really negatively on a daily basis, they start to care more. And they start to say, well, you know what, actually, maybe they deal with enough crap. I'm going to, you know, try and make life better for them. So I think more than facts, more than logic, more than anything, because people are stubborn, and you can put really hard evidence in someone's face, but if they don't want to believe it, they're not going to believe it. The only thing that they cannot dispute is the way it makes you feel. So, like, for my family, I just, like, look, I hate being this way. Like, I hate it. It makes my life so much harder. I would give anything to not be this way, but that's the way it is. And once they realized that, they were like, we really should, like, get on board with this and try and make things better. So I found that is the most effective way, if you just sit them down and talk to them about the way it makes you feel. The second part of the topic is about how is the best way to stay positive. And especially because I went home for Easter, like, literally I was sitting at the table and my brother was just going off on me about how I'm a girl and I have no right to use the men's room, and he has a very interesting way of showing that he cares, says my mother. It makes me so angry, and I'm just sitting there like, and he's just literally sitting there pointing out every little thing about me that is feminine. Like, he's like, well, you don't have facial hair, and you're really small, and your hands are really small, and you don't look like a boy. And he just like living there and saying that to me, and I'm like, okay. So how did I stay positive? After I deal with that, or always text someone that knows otherwise, that knows you as male, that supports you, and you just text them, or you go right to them afterwards, and you're like, look what just happened, like, I need to know that you still support me. And I'm sure everybody has that one person, or maybe it's watching a video or someone, and just realizing that although they are your family and they're very close to you, you have tons of other people that support you and don't feel that way about you. And that is my way of coping. I just like talk to my girlfriend, I talk to my friends, and they're like, no, you are male to us. Don't listen to anything he says. Like, you look like a boy. We go out with you and you pass. Like, you have every right to use a men's room. And they say all this stuff to me, and it really does help. So just finding your support system is the best way to deal with it, at least. And I think Britt was getting a little raunchy with the question this week, which I have no objections to. What is your sweet spot? And I was thinking about it, and I think everybody likes when they get kissed on the neck and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that's the best. But like, for me, it's more tummies. And I know I've ranted about tummies before, but I love tummies. Like, tummies. If I could just kiss a girl's tummy and like her hip bones, I'm completely happy with that. Just like tummy, and that is my sweet spot. If I see a tummy, if I can feel a tummy, if I can kiss a tummy, and the hips, and I love hips, and that's why I got my hips pierced, and they're no longer in because they were just a hassle and they rejected. But I like tummies and I like hips, and those are my sweet spots. Well, that's it for this week, guys. It's really nice outside. I hope it's nice where you are. It's like 70 or 80 degrees outside, which is awesome. Every time I make a video with 70 or 80 degrees outside, I'm set. I'm good to go. So I hope you guys have a great week. I hope the great weather continues. I am officially a month until I'm out of school, which is mind blown. I'm almost done with my first year of college. I can't even believe that I'm going to be here. I need to start doing job applications for the summer because I need to make some money, because first year of college totally wipes out your bank account. So see you guys next week. I love you. Have a